Hello and welcome to this channel. If you have not been on this channel, I've called it Savage Insomniac Radio. But if you're here right now watching this, it's probably because you're looking at this post that I'm putting online. Anyway, I have been discussing a local restaurant. I had not wanted to use the name of the restaurant because I don't know, I was trying to be protective of their privacy and everything, but anyway, I realized that I'm actually recommending a restaurant, saying their food's good and getting a bunch of people to go into the restaurant. So that actually isn't a bad thing. I'm not saying anything bad about this restaurant. I've said nothing but good stuff about this restaurant. The only thing that I said that could be portrayed as, I guess could be construed, not portrayed, as negative, is just that there is sugar in this dish and sunflower seed oil, which is GMO free. But that is not the worst things that I could say about a restaurant. I'll add that even though it does have sugar, and I can't have sugar, my daughter can't have sugar, at least not added sugar and stuff, we just can't. That when I did have this, it didn't spike my blood sugar levels. I checked. So I don't have diabetes, but I have a blood sugar test or blood sugar meter, and I decided to test and nothing. It was perfect, even with the sugar in it. Having said that, I can't have sugar in my diet. It aggravates my infectious disease. And so I have to try to come up with something that's a tikka masala. It's not going to taste exactly like theirs because of the lacking sugar that I won't be having in it. So there's been a number of people that have recommended going to the store and getting vegan tikka masalas. I appreciate those thoughts, but vegan tikka masala from the store isn't going to come close to tasting like this. For one thing, this is a mildly spicy, more leaning tomato, and it's got a lot of spices in there that really bring out its flavor, and it's completely different than any tikka masala I've ever made or had. And even though I don't cook a lot, I have had a try at tikka masala, and I make one at home, and it's a lot hotter. It has cumin in it, it has garam masala in it. This does not have either of those things in it. So those are not the missing spices. It is not part of garam masala. If anything, if you had garam masala, you have to take all of these spices out that are more punchy, like peppercorns are not in this. There's no way. I don't even think asafoetida is in this. Somebody on Facebook mentioned asafoetida. I've been eating, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I've been eating that in papadum since I was probably a little tiny tyke. Whenever my dad could make a papadum on the stove. So asafoetida is burned into my brain. It's like the only food I tried to make when I wasn't supposed to be cooking in the house. So, it's the only food I made when I was told expressly not to do it. And yeah, I got caught. So lesson is don't put papadum in the house. But anyway, okay. The other thing is that what I really need is advice on this. So I had initially said, hey, can anyone just taste this? Because I think you're going to know if you cook with spices, especially if you've ever cooked with Indian spices. And I don't think these are all limited to India. This is a British dish that is supposed to have originated in an unusual way with an Indian cook, altering it and putting tomato sauce and coconut milk in it. But if someone really wanted to taste it, I still have it here. And, so, and I've got one person that says she's going to go try, and so we'll see. But realistically, if you want to help, you'll have to either try this or you will have to go to the restaurant and sit down, which it's a good restaurant, opens at 5 o'clock. It seats until 8:45. Kind of busy, but it's got a balcony seating area. When I was in there last time, I noticed it. So, give them a try. If you're vegan, give them a try. If you've got blood sugar issues and you want to try this dish, I can only tell you I didn't have blood sugar issues when I had it. I would say have some broccoli and, fiber along with your dish if you're concerned about blood sugar issues and you want to try this once. As far as doctors' recommendations and medical recommendations, I appreciate the feedback. There isn't anything that you're welcome to put all of it there, private message me, whatever. But honestly, there's nothing dietarily I doubt that it's going to be told to me that I have not done, considered, or am not literally trying right now. Someone mentioned autophagy and intermittent fasting. Been there, done that, trying to go back to that. So I lost 31 pounds, and I did not have it to lose, by the way. What, do I regret it? No. I was so bloated, but I regret the weight loss. And I was eating fat, almost ketogenic during the day. So this is not something that I had a lot of control over. I was eating a lot of food. This is caused by infectious disease. So I appreciate those recommendations and recommendations of doctors and stuff. However, with the doctors, like I can't afford all these expensive doctors. And the good ones are expensive, and they don't take insurance companies like Medicare or Medicaid or any of that stuff. They're not interested in people like that because they get paid about, I don't know, $60 by Medicare or maybe $100 or something. And they can get, $350 to $1,500 if they just don't bill Medicare. And so guess what they do? They don't bill Medicare. In fact, they opt out of Medicare. The good doctors, you have to consent to being a cash-only patient. And as much as I hate to say it, it costs more in this country to live than it does to die. It's cheaper to actually utilize services outside of the country and end your life than it is to think about the venture of health. To illustrate my point, I just want to talk a little bit about my own herbalist. I will not be mentioning his name. It's not the one that's here in town. He's actually well priced for an herbalist of his, I don't want to make it, it's not snobby, but of his capacity, and he's very talented. And I don't consider $200 to be expensive at all for an herbalist with his type of experience. But seriously, between the cost of the herbs, which by the way I'm getting, I'm actually not paying tons and tons for my herbs, but it's so expensive that unfortunately it's cheaper to end your life in Switzerland than it is to access 2 years of my doctor's treatment. I believe so. Sad, but true. Because it would cost me about $500, $400 to $500 per month, which is about $6,000 per year. And that already is more expensive than end-of-life options. So, and I'm familiar that that's very depressing to some people. I'm sorry. Some of us are hurting that bad that we're actually at that point. Having said that, I do want everyone to know that I did have a healer come in and help a little bit. No, I'm not going to be mentioning who that was. And it at least provided a little bit of hope and a lot of reduction in symptomology. But yet I'm still looking at this. And I want to point out that the more I look at this, the more I dislike this dish. I've tried making it about, how many times now? About 5 to 10 times now. Yeah. And it's just every time it just gets worse and worse. So sitting at the stove cooking when you've got stomach problems, both of us, my daughter and I, lose our appetite when we cook.
Unfortunately.
Okay, so we won't be opening a restaurant anytime soon. But although I will say this, we wouldn't eat all our food in the restaurant either. That's good. But we would hate our own food. So we will not be opening a restaurant. I'm sorry if people wanted that. Okay, so a lot of information. I plan on posting this on probably Nextdoor. So I hope people can do with it what they will and recognize that I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission to figure this out. Take care and stop. Thanks for stopping by. If you are interested in listening to this podcast, at least while I'm doing it, subscribe and hit the notifications bell and like, or as I always say, don't if you don't feel like it. Have a nice day or night.